All right. Hey, so that was our first six of them of the 20 unspoken rules for men. And Rich and I decided to take a little popcorn break,
Well, I
like
Doug,
your intermission.
I had to go be a man and feed the dogs.
Oh, yeah. So we took a little short intermission. So this will be the second part of our video that you're going to catch. First one's about 18 minutes long. We'll put that up, and then this one will follow right behind it. So just giving you guys a heads up. With that, Rich, we're going
Rule
to
number
take it
six, Doug,
into
was
number.
don't take credit for work you didn't do. I'm not taking
All
any
right,
credit for. I'm not taking any credit for the
mess
Wi-Fi.
up that I did.
Yeah,
The
for the for the
for my
Wi-Fi messed up. I'm not taking any credit for that.
uh, a
So
real man would share in that.
okay, because rule number seven is that, Doug. It's take the blame and give credit when due. So
Yeah. Well,
we're in this thing together, loudly and laughs, and see my picture is right up there behind you on the wall, and your head's covering your head. But but
almost perfect.
a couple good looking guys there. But yeah, take
Yeah.
the blame
So
and give credit when credit's due. Yeah, man. So look,
you
stuff
know,
happens. Stuff
we had
happens.
a great podcast last week. This one was working great. I mean,
We had a great
it's
podcast
clear,
going, but Doug,
functional,
I'll take. Hey,
and
it's my fault.
my my internet decided to just kapooey.
Look,
I had to actually go reset
that
it
was Daddy,
completely.
guys. That was Daddy.
So,
My dogs are barking because I knocked on the wood. I said I'm
yeah.
going to take credit for this one though because um, I was saying all those great things about life, how everything was going so nice
And
and easy.
you you want to know what's different? I changed shirts.
Murphy's nice. Murphy's Law. I didn't. I'm still in my work clothes. I would like to get in
Yeah.
my non-work clothes at some point tonight. But
Okay.
but
Well,
hey, Murphy's Law, dude. What?
it's only 7:30, so you got plenty of time.
It's only 6:30 here, so
Oh well, you
hey,
got more time than
what
I do
can
on my end.
happen will happen and did happen.
Right. Murphy's
Um,
law.
here's rule number eight,
Here
Doug.
to Murphy.
Murphy.
Wait, rule number seven. We're on rule seven.
No, seven. I already said it was take the blame and give credit when due.
Oh, oh, so that was it. You took the blame. We're
I
moving on.
took the blame
Gotcha.
for
All
what
right. All right.
happened that
All
wasn't my
right.
fault. But
Gotcha.
anyway, um, number eight. If you're not invited, don't ask to go.
Respect
You know,
some boundaries, right?
you know what I'm saying? These are
Yeah. Yeah.
just unspoken rules for men, Doug. You know, don't like beg somebody or like how come they didn't invite me or how come they're doing this and these people that we know are going all out together but nobody invited us. How come?
My
It's just
my world's a
you're not
lot
invited,
different.
don't ask.
My world's a lot different. If I find out I didn't get invited somewhere, I'm like, great, I get to sit home and relax. This is gonna be
Yeah,
nice.
right. But
So yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah, I'm with
right.
you.
Rule number nine, Doug. You ready for this one?
Yep, yep, fire away.
Always aim for the head, bro.
Hmm.
I don't know. That can
Always,
mean a couple different things. Always aim for the head.
always
It
aim
can
for the
mean
head.
what?
Not literally, not in the literal sense, is what you're saying. But
Oh, uh, it,
maybe
it could.
lead.
I said it. It could mean a couple different things because, like, yeah,
Okay,
if there's somebody invading your house in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., then maybe go ahead and aim for the head. But
two and one.
right, maybe we should skip that one. Um,
Yeah. So no, it basically what you're saying is leadership with some compassion.
right.
Lead with your head
Use your head.
and understand people, have compassion for people,
Yes.
um, and make sure your Second Amendment is loaded by the bed just in case.
Just in case. Just in case. Rule number 10, Doug. Don't
Yeah.
beg for a relationship. I mean, you're married, I'm married, basically. But don't beg for a relationship, and that can go with friends, coworkers. you know, just
If if you're having to beg for a relationship, it's not a true relationship to begin
right,
with, and it's not
right.
authentic. Um, Connections evolve naturally.
You shouldn't
Um,
have to work for it.
Yeah, it's something that just happens, and it happens over
I
time.
mean,
Some of them happen a lot faster than others. Like you meet somebody and you're like, "Hey, I've known this person for 100 years,"
I
and
made that
then some of them, you're like, "So this is my brother. I've known him for 40 years, and I still don't feel like I know him."
right. See what I'm doing here?
You're in agreement.
Um, I actually,
Eh,
I've actually started doing that with the don't beg for a relationship, like with friends, like because I feel like
well, I thought
a
you
lot
were
of,
gonna say with Stephanie.
a lot of times, I'm the one making the phone call, keeping the relationship going, um, reaching out when but yeah, I'm
You mean like
past
when
that.
you call me all the time?
Right. I'm past that
Yeah.
part of my
Okay.
life, other than with you and Clay, the two brothers that don't call me. I always have to call. I'm past that part
You
where
know
I'm just
why? For our listening audience, hold on, I got to look at our audience out here. For our listening audience, um, this guy leaves his phone on do not disturb all the time. So when you call him, it goes straight to voicemail. So the only way to get a hold of him is to text him, and then if he doesn't see the text, then you got to text Stephanie and say, "Hey, tell him to look at his phone." So yeah, that's why you don't get calls. I'm just putting it out there like it's real. What was that other one you said with number 7?
but if you call,
Except what?
I'll answer.
Not if it goes straight to your voicemail every
Or then I'll
time.
call you back. Okay, number 11, Doug.
Yeah, number 11.
Listen, nod, most of all, make eye contact. It's kind of like
Okay.
that shake hand thing.
So effective communication.
It's yeah, but it's the proper communication. It's effective, and it's the right thing. Like the standing up when you're shaking hands. Listen, nod, make eye
And
contact.
and
There's nothing
and
that
truly
pains me.
for go
There's
ahead.
nothing that
Go
pains
ahead.
me more when I'm talking to somebody and they're off in some other world or on their phone. Not mentioning any names, stuff. But if they
I think
if
one
they,
slipped out.
but like you're talking to somebody, you're trying to have a conversation, and 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 they're off in some other world and not listen to anything you have to say. I mean, listen to me, nod, make eye contact, let me know that you're hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah. So and I think that's big. And to me, that almost rates up there with like as number 2 with that handshake, which should be a firm handshake that we talked about in our first episode, part
Yeah,
8. And and I think the same goes when you're in a conversation with somebody, it should never be like that. Have that eye contact, look at each other. That's a respect thing to me. Um,
yes.
and that no matter who you're talking to, whether it's your own kids, family, significant other, whatever it may be, eye contact.
Here's another one for me, and this is number 12 that I like. And it's okay to be relaxed every now and then, but I dress well no matter what the occasion. Like I like to dress decent. And I have like clients in town, and I see people. It it's okay to go. If you've been hiking but like I'm always like, even
Well,
if hiking or something, I want to go home, take a shower, put on some decent clothes to go out to dinner. Steph a lot of times will be like, "Hey, let's just go to dinner the way we look," and I'm like, But I think it's important to you feel good. If you look good, you feel good. You know what I'm saying?
well, and I've got no problem with dressing down. Like if we decide we're going to run in and get some groceries, um, throwing on a pair of shirts and a pair of shorts and a t-shirt,
Oh yeah, I'm not
maybe even
dressing.
a hat, and yeah. But what I don't get, and even going to Walmart or wherever, I'm amazed when I pull into parking lots anywhere and I see people
Oh,
walking in with their house slippers and their pajama bottoms and a little pajama top and just
Doug, I gotta be real honest with you, brother. You never know what you're gonna see at Walmart, man.
no. There was a web page out there a long time ago that was the people of Walmart, and it was very interesting.
It's a
I will
scary,
say
scary,
that, but
scary, scary
yeah,
page.
man, dress decently.
Number
Even if
13,
you're dressing down, dress decently.
number 13, Doug, show restraint in expressing anger. No matter what,
Oh,
being angry is a waste of energy. You know,
I 100% agree with that one. Although
right?
I can't say I'm 100% on level.
Not
I've had a few instances,
Yeah.
and but I will say, old me versus new me. I'm at a very different spot in life, and
Right.
not very much gets me angry anymore. And I think it's because I don't hold it in like I used to. I used to let it fester. And
Yeah.
and you're right. The whole energy thing. It doesn't make sense to go around angry all the time. Be happy.
Like Tim McGraw said it best, I don't know why you have to be angry all the time. So, no, I
Or
think
as our good friend Mike Austin says,
be nice.
just be nice. Don't
Just
be
be
angry.
nice.
Be nice.
But no,
Be
I think,
nice.
I think there's no reason to like just be in a conversation and just be angry, all the time, like and just, you know, um, be nice. Mike Austin said it best right there.
Yeah.
So
And we should that people should change it. It should be quick to be nice. Be slow to anger.
slow to anger says that in the Bible, right? But
Yeah, I believe it does.
rule number 14, Doug, we're moving right along. Whether
We're
it's
up to
dinner,
we're up to 14.
yes. Whether it's dinner, drinks, or both, avoid placing your phone on the dinner table. This has become a big one for me lately. Like, because once again, that goes back to: are you listening to my conversation? Am I out to dinner with your phone, or am I out to dinner with you? Um, and that could be with friends, relationships, whatever, people in general. Like, I try anymore not to even have my phone out of my pocket at the dinner table because when I'm at a
Well,
restaurant or something like that. Because I think I've mentioned this to you before. You go over to Europe and you go to places, pubs and bars and restaurants, and unless it's an American taking pictures, um, you rarely see a phone out. People go out to have conversation and to socialize and to watch soccer games maybe, but they're not on their phones. They're
What?
not
Wait,
they're not
it's
on their
it's football season.
yeah, soccer in Europe is crazy. But they're not on their phones to, while they're out with friends, like, I'm sure if, Mercy comes through or something, maybe you get up and go to the bathroom, check your phone if you want to, but I try not to, are you looking, Doug,
What?
what are you
What? Nothing.
looking?
Nothing.
But you know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah. That's the exact example right there. It's just in the middle of a conversation, somebody will pick up their phone. Now, I saw this when I was, looking around, and one of and I see it everywhere I go, but I'm guilty of putting it on the table because I don't like my phone stuck in my pocket. It creates a pull on my clothes, or if I have it in my back pocket, I don't want to sit on it. So I take it out and I just set it on the table.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
bad at that, but
I've gotten to at least during dinner and other stuff like that. Yeah, I try to have mine not not on the table because I think it's
yeah,
disrespectful. I read a thing about that not too long ago that it's just a disrespect thing. You're showing that you're not respecting the other people that are with you. But I understand some people feel like they have to, because
well now,
people, dude, I'll tell you, I saw this thing. I saw this thing yesterday or the day before. It said something. Hold on, I think I got it right here on my phone. Hold on.
well, while you're looking at that, here's what I'm going to add. What about if everybody that brings their phone, I've heard this in the past too. If everybody just puts their phones in the center of the table, and the first person to look at their phone or pick their phone up,
Buys
even if
dinner.
it's ringing, technically, they pay for the whole table. But
Right, I've said that before.
would we be okay with phones on the table then?
Right, exactly.
All right.
I saw this yesterday or a couple days ago. It said, I finally realized that people are prisoners of their phones. That's why they're called cell phones. Cell phones? You're in a
Uh,
cell. You're in a cell. You're in
Yeah,
prison.
yeah.
Because I mean, some people do. Some people can't live without being on their phone anymore. It's almost ridiculous. But hey, let's move on to number 15, Doug. I like this one.
All right.
And
Moving
not
on to number
everybody.
15.
My little mic head fell off here, so I got too
Uh-oh.
excited to move on. But not everybody does this anymore because, um, well, one because they're not men. But unspoken rules of men, Doug.
Hmm.
Number 15, always carry cash. I know everybody wants to pay everything with a card anymore, all that, but I feel like you should
Well,
always have some cash on you.
the problem that you run into now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have cash, but the problem that you run into a lot of the times nowadays is that it's going to take longer to use cash than it is to use a card. And a lot of the places that you try to use cash, they can't even count your change back. And number three, I have noticed that here lately, any venues that I go to, they are cashless venues. They don't even accept cash anymore. And all that is because of COVID. Yeah, it never hurts to have cash on you. You should always have a
I,
little
I
cash.
mean, yeah, I just think it's a good thing to have a little bit. You don't have to carry a ton, but
That's why I
carry
roll with
some.
about three G in my pocket all the time, man. Just
Right.
carrying a little bit. 'Cause I'm a
Um,
millionaire, not a billionaire.
right. Because it's bad to be a billionaire.
It's
Um,
bad to be a billionaire, man. I don't want to be taxed 42%. I'll stick with being a millionaire and get like what is it, 18 or something?
rule number 16, Doug. Yeah,
16.
rule number 16. Ask more than you answer. Think about that one for a moment.
What you're saying is seek knowledge.
Yes, that's
No.
exactly what.
Or in Proverbs, find wisdom.
What's that?
I said as in Proverbs, find wisdom.
Find wisdom. Yeah, yeah. Because it is good to ask. And it's okay to ask questions
Well,
when you don't know the answer to something. If you don't know something.
well,
Um,
here's what you run into. If you're talking all the time, you're never going to learn anything. It's when you quiet and you listen that your intelligence and your curiosity spikes and you can actually learn from other people and other things.
and I believe that exact, and I think that's another good reason to. And they say this all the time. You've heard this. Surround yourself with people that are more knowledgeable than you. Like you don't
Oh
want to be
yeah,
the
yeah.
you don't want to be the
You
smartest
know,
guy in the room. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you're not learning anything. So
well, when and this just goes for even a work ethic. When I first started selling auto parts that you got me into, I knew a little bit, but not a lot. I had more management skills than I did anything. And so I hired a guy that knew everything about Ford. I hired a guy that knew everything about Chrysler, and I hired a guy that knew everything about Chevrolet. And I learned from them. And then I found this young kid who was only like 18, 19 years old, and man, he knew everything there was about imports at that age. And I learned from him. Me in my 30s learned a lot from this kid that knew so much about imports. And today I'm still learning about stuff like that. So yeah,
right,
surround yourself with more intelligent people.
exactly. Speaking of intelligence, rule number 17: proper grammar will get you far in life. Leave the foul language for the less educated.
What thou dost saith to me is that thou believest I should speak it with correct grammar.
Right. I mean, I I heard I read something a while back though that people They're having some foul language right now. But I
They're
read something.
cussing at each other.
No, I don't know what they're doing. They ran outside, but I got the door open. But I read something a while back that said that cussing shows intelligence, but maybe some a little bit here and there. But I don't cuss a lot. I don't because I just don't think it sounds smart. If you're in there going bleep it bleep 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 bleep, then that shows no intelligence to me. Like these guys are doing right now. They're cussing up a
Well,
storm.
I mean,
Hey,
if
quit your
everything you're
cussing.
saying,
Quit your
if,
cussing.
if everything you're saying is a bleep, then you can't understand them.
Right. We go back to the the first or whatever second rule that I said in this whole thing. Rule number 18, you can tell a great deal about a person by their handshake. So make your handshake strong and firm. I mean, especially if you're handshaking, if you're shaking hands with a guy, you don't want to come up there like, if you're shaking hands with a woman, you might like a little lighter, you don't want to squeeze, make them drop to their knees, but you don't want to do that with anybody, but at least make it firm. Make eye contact, make it firm. Agreed?
100%. I mean, there's not much more to say than that, other than you know, make a firm handshake. I mean, it's that simple. You can't really grasp that one into any more language than what it says.
Exactly.
That's
I got two more to
grasp
go.
that one. You can't
Two more to
grasp
go.
that one into any.
Number 19.
Okay, that one's going on. Going on. Moving on.
Can't say that I haven't done this before, but it makes sense not to. Never pose with alcohol. Um, One, there's many reasons for that. Actually, probably. You could be posing with a picture of alcohol and then wreck your truck and kill 5 people, and then they know you were drinking. But no, I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, there's a lot of different. You could be running for presidency for the president of the United States, and then they could show 8,000 pictures of you posing with alcohol. It's not. It doesn't make you cool. Doesn't make you look smart. What do you think?
Well, you know me.
Unless
I'm
you're at a
not.
wedding, maybe.
I'm,
Unless you're at a
I'm not
bachelor
the.
party. If you're at a bachelor party for your son, or at a wedding.
Hold on. I'm gonna check those pictures. No, I mean, I get it. I think I agree with that one. If you ask me, that one is probably leans back to more of the 40s, 50s, 30s when prohibition existed, and
Right. Is that all you got on that one? Oh boy. Did you freeze again? Oh boy. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, folks. Well, Doug, my brother over there, is frozen. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about rule number 20. And I think maybe this is still recording because it says the recording is still on. So rule number 20 is speak honestly. Say what you mean. And Doug mentioned this to talk about, being honest. Speak honestly, say what you mean, and mean what you say. And don't be afraid. I've talked to a few clients this week about some of them have said, men don't always say what they mean, and sometimes men don't, and men aren't vulnerable. They won't. You know,
yeah,
I don't know if you heard all that. I just kept going on, but you were frozen there
yeah.
for a while.
No, I did. I could hear everything, and
So,
I guess you
okay,
couldn't hear
good,
me.
good. So we don't have to redo
So
it.
you're on number 20.
You were frozen
Honesty.
there. You were frozen, so I just kept going. But yeah, speak honestly and say what you mean to me, what you say. And I was saying that I've had a couple clients this talking about
What you mean?
yeah, say what you mean. I mean, and it's okay to be a little vulnerable as a guy. Unspoken rule. I cry during movies if they're good. I cry during songs if they're really good. If they touch me, it's okay to say that. You know, um, and it's okay to just be honest. All the time. on how you're feeling, you know?
Yeah. And so a lot of these unspoken rules that are now spoken, we've given you a hint into it, which they're out there. You could find them anywhere if you wanted to. But they shape who you become into not only what doesn't seem to be a great thing anymore, but a true gentleman. It helps cultivate a respectful and positive environment for everybody that you come up on. You know, everybody that you encounter. It's little things that make significant differences in not only your own life, but in others' lives and the way you interact with other people.
Right.
So 20 unspoken rules. There's a lot more. I know there is, but
Oh, there is.
you know,
And
for the
Doug,
main
like,
part,
we could have gone deeper into these, like number 13, you know, the anger thing. I know some people struggle with anger and they try to show restraint, but it just stuff boils up inside of them. They just blow up and they get angry. But you know, maybe try to take that anger. You know, I was reading another thing the other day that said, I'm sure you know this, and everybody's heard this, but I'll repeat it. But you know, be slow to that anger and like maybe don't speak until that anger is gone, until you've had a little time to calm down.
oh, there you go.
You got to take your 9 mil outside the back of your house and blow off about 15 and 20 rounds, 30 rounds. Do that first, and
Unless
then
you live in town, and then if you're
right,
watching this, don't do it in town.
don't do that in time.
And don't
But,
shoot them
but
into the air because they do come back down. What
you
goes
know, then
up
come
must come
back,
down.
you know, and then talk. You know,
And I agree. And I said I'm still working on that one. I'm not 100% there. I'm in a better place than I ever was, but yeah. A lot of what you touched on, being a good listener, and when you're a good listener, you're not just listening, you're listening to hear, not to respond. Sometimes it's not about, oh, he's saying this, so this is what I'm going to say, because then you're not listening. Actually
right. And
listen to
that's
respond.
one thing I could work on. Is like, yeah, there's a lot of times somebody will be saying something, I'll be like, oh, I got something on that. Me, no, you know. Wait, I got
and
something
and
I can
and
add to that. I got something way
yeah,
better. Add, no,
yeah.
something
And
to add.
and I'm
You
like
know,
that with the anger. Sometimes I'm like, no, 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 no. And I do really well. And then every once in a great while I'll be like, "Argh!" And it just it comes out and it shouldn't. But yeah.
right, right.
Um but I believe it all starts with a firm handshake.
It does. Yeah, the firm handshake. Think before you talk. Make eye contact. You know, listen to people when they are talking. Those are just some of my
And
20 unspoken rules for men. You
and
got anything
and
you
if
want
I
to add to
had
that?
to yeah, if I had to add one, I'm gonna pick one. If I had to add one and we call it 21, even though we're still calling it 20, um, my biggest thing would be as a man and as a woman, but as a man, be self sufficient. Be self sufficient. Do not rely on anybody for anything. Be self sufficient. It doesn't mean that once you have a relationship that you don't, you know, meld each other in and one helps the other out and all that. But before you can really get anywhere in life, you've got to be self sufficient.
Yeah,
You just have to.
yeah.
And
And that
that's
goes
it. That's our
with a lot of things, Doug. Uh, you know, not just working or having wealth, having, you know, things, but like just be self sufficient. Like you're saying, like be able to go out to a movie by yourself, be able to go out to the woods by, you know, be able to not have to rely on a partner, a relationship, somebody else to be able to do anything that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, self sufficient. That's a good
yeah,
one. I like that. Yeah.
yeah. Learn to take care of yourself in
Yep.
every way. And that's mentally, physically,
Yeah.
all of it.
Personal hygiene's good.
Spiritually, yeah, personal hygiene, all of it. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, you don't
And
want to always, you know, like I said before, you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. You want to be, you know, you want to have some people that know more than you do in your room. But it is okay to be the best looking guy in the room, Doug. got
I
that.
thank you. I appreciate that. So I will know that going forward that once I walk into a room, it's okay for me to be the best looking guy. Thanks for pointing that out, Rich. You're pointing at yourself, not me.
Yeah.
You point. Oh, you. Yes, yes. Rich being the best looking person. And I'm sorry. I thought you meant I should have listened better. I should have.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it. This is part B of our podcast for the week. I will get both of them put up hopefully here in a day or two, Rich, and
This will give
we'll move
people
on.
this will give people an
Yeah,
easier time because they can watch like the first 20 minutes and then the next 30 minutes later. You know.
there you go. There you go. And oh, wait, I almost forgot. Our lawyers say that we have to say this. Everything you hear is our own opinions and not the opinions of any other entity. And with that, Rich disappeared on us. I think maybe that's why he doesn't have it on him and it's only on me when I say that. All right. Hey, thank you all. We appreciate it. And we do appreciate we've been seeing some of the views start popping up on our Spotify, on our YouTube. They're starting to climb a little bit. We're posting to Facebook a little bit differently where it takes you
Get
straight
out there.
Spotify.
Get out there and tell somebody about Loud, Loose, and the Last.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
out there, listen.
Yeah.
Give us a listen. Give us a like. Tell
And
people about us. Tell a friend. Tell a neighbor. Tell a dog. Tell a cat. Tell a
and
communicator. Anyway,
telecommunications, telephone,
tell a phone.
telewoman.
Tell some.
Um,
Whoa.
wait, did I say that out loud? Anyway, listen, if you haven't
Tell
seen
your
it, go
mom.
back,
Tell your
tell your
mom.
mom, tell your mom. And if your mom is like our
Hi,
mom,
mom.
hi mom, we love
Hi,
you,
mom.
mom.
Love you, mom.
Um,
Hope you're doing great.
yeah, but honestly, if you haven't watched episode 17, go back, watch. We're trying to do something here, folks. And somebody's going to get it, which, oh, you know what? Hold that thought real quick, Rich. Give me 1 second here before we get done. So you'd mentioned something in episode 17. Well, I'm not going to harp on what you mentioned, but I am going to show you something.
Nice.
Look what I found.
Oh, look at that.
Look what I found, Rich.
Look at the shirt right there.
Yeah, that's a good looking water bottle too, right there.
Water
Look
bottle.
at that.
Yeah.
So hey, go give us a listen. Dang it. I didn't cut it up. That was
No.
that
Now
one
lose the
channel.
glass.
Okay. All right. Talk to y'all later.